Dear community, we did beautiful trading session yesterday where we made significant profit, and today I wanna break you down what exactly we took as a trades because it was a recording of that session yesterday. That was maybe one of the greatest example of absorption, and I wanna show to you how you can use also order flow together with a market structure, because as you know, it's not enough to trade only order flow. You need to trade order flow in the right place, because many of you already saw some indicators, some videos regarding order flow, but still you do not make money. Why? Because market, you need to use it, all of the stuff, in a proper direction. First, there must be understanding of a trend direction. If you go against trend, doesn't matter what you use, with bigger chance you will get your stop losses. Second, what you need, it is a key area. Why key area is vital? Because often even good order flow confirmation, but if it's in the middle of nothing, with many cases there would be significant volatility and you won't make any money. And only third, it is a local confirmation, which is order flow, absorption, aggressive buy, limit orders, and all of the stuff that you need to take trades. And that's exactly what I'll show to you. That's why watch carefully. Also, I will add link to this live session into description that you will be able to watch it in the future. To revisit and watch it because it's really beautiful live session. First, when you start a live session, always understand what's going on with the market, and there would be some key areas. Even yesterday, for example, example for you, how do you prepare to a trading session? When we started our live session, it was exactly 16:30. It is US Open. It was exactly here. Price of Nasdaq was exactly here. That's the reason why I analyze volume profiles, and that's the reason why I analyze VWAP. Because what we saw yesterday, that since daily opening we had a price above VWAP. That's why I use opening VWAP and New York VWAP, because if you have a situation that both price is above both VWAPs, that's your priority will be to look for continuation. Like yesterday's structure, you can see we moved up in a small range, and guess what, quite aggressive delta we had here, but if you take trade in the middle, you get stop loss. When price retest VWAP, that was exactly best places to take trade for continuation. Have a look here. First best opportunity to take a trade was, let me add additional day. As you can see here, it was exactly the day opening. It was exactly when price started a trading day. This yellow line, it is start of a session, and you can see here aggressive sellers step in here at high. Let me build for you a volume profile and analyze a delta. You can see those aggressive sellers. You might think, oh my god, I have uptrend, price above VWAP, but as you can see, price is at second VWAP deviation. It's a dangerous place to take a trade, even if you have aggressive delta, which might be absorbed, but not what they did. As you can see, they continued dropping. They dropped until VWAP. There was significant delta absorption at some moment, and that delta absorption, after the delta absorption, it was exactly a good move. You can see how price, by reaching VWAP, how we have quite a lot of big bubbles, big orders, and from those orders you can see price did 476 ticks, and after that 880. And additionally, pay attention to delta, how at bottom there was aggressive delta. You can see, boom. Have a look how massively this delta was aggressive at bottom. Some sellers tried to push through and they failed. That's exactly what you want to see with order flow confirmation. And just example for you, same aggressive negative delta against a trend, but here it made a drop. Here it got absorbed and gave you beautiful entry. That's why it's so important to use market structure, local confirmation, and key areas together, because only in that case you will have best risk to reward ratio. Because if you take here at low, your risk could be 160 ticks, and potential reward could be in many times more, because even here until a high there was 1 to 5, 1 to 6 risk reward. And let me show to you how in reality here this absorption had happened, because during live session, what's the beauty and what's the reason why I advise you to revisit that live session, because here you can come back and you can see absorption, how it happened during live session. Because sometimes during live session it's difficult to execute trades, because I like reply question. I understand the people watching me, but still. By the way, push like and subscribe to this video, because what I want to show to you, it is a real-time order flow. Have a look. Price reaching this key zone. You can see how delta started to build up. Honestly, here you can see small buying. To be honest, it was exactly a first moment when I took long. And I got stop loss because I saw this buyers and I thought that it immediately would start a move. That's a mistake of most of beginners when they start using order flow, and they think that by using order flow it immediately changes their life and they immediately become profitable. Sometimes there would be double, triple traps, and you need to understand it. And here you can see those buyers try to push through. Honestly, at this moment, I moved my stop loss at low, and here it was around 150 ticks in a profit. You can see buyers started, and what I thought that I secured my profit and everything is good. But have a look what just happened. Few seconds. Some aggressive buyers, as you can see, started to push in, and what they did additional lower low. Sometimes market makers are greedy guys, and they go down and take your stop losses. Have a look. Aggressive sell-off. Have a look. At this moment, that's example for you why, by the way, I analyze, I don't use heat map, but I use a tape, limit orders and a clusters together, because here for me it's so important to see what's going on with real-time orders. Here, as you can see, I see minus 50. They're quite significant negative orders, and what that stuff means, we have aggressive sellers that try to push through. Like at this moment, 111, 12, 22, it's quite significant orders. And when you analyze absorption, what you need to understand, what's the difference between absorption and breakout. When you face aggressive player, that player must break through. Because just imagine in a simple terms, some person build a position, for example, take short with 100 contracts. And that person have average price, for example, here. That person is interested to move price down to make money, because if price go into his direction, he become profitable and he can secure some profit. But if he cannot move through, it means that from other side, someone could use limit orders to build exactly opposite position. And that someone could go against him and take his stop losses as profit. It's always a fight between buyers and sellers, and just always the most important question, who will be stronger, because there are always two sides of a trade. And here it was exactly a moment when I reopen a trade, because you can see here what's going on. Beautiful buying orders. That's what you would like to see after absorption. Sellers got absorbed and aggressive buyers step in, and immediately you can put the order. And what had happened after that? Boom. And after that, aggressive buyers started to make a move. And that was exactly my first trade. It's really sad that on Bybit you cannot see orders on a chart. As you can see, 30,156. It's approximately here. I reopen a trade. and after that price moved into my direction quite well. That's also example for you why sometimes you need to be careful, because here what I also did, I closed part of my position. Friends, within a few seconds I will show to you once more a few examples how you can use cumulative delta as a confirmation. But once more, at this moment I want to show to you how you can become profitable and how we can help you, because you can see we do live sessions, we trade nearly on daily basis NQ and other futures market, and we can help you to become profitable, and we know what exactly you need to do. That's why we created a special trading environment where you will get everything that you need to achieve your results. Not a lag, a clear trading process. Every trader starts with a context level, order flow confirmation, and risk control. That's how you make money on a market. Built all of this stuff, what I showed to you, it built through years of trading, because I also bought quite a lot of courses, and still you need to test it on a real market, and only after that you will understand what really works. That's why it tested, refined, structure, and at this moment what we did, we created ready-to-use environment which will help you become profitable as soon as possible. What does the system include? First, ready-to-use ATAS workspace. We help every student to set up ATAS workspace. I share all my templates, all indicators set up. That's why it's really easy to use. Additionally, the right trading environment. It's nearly impossible to become profitable by yourself, because you need to speak with people who also trade, because sometimes you can take the stuff that other people used, sometimes market change. That's why you need a right trading environment, and that's what exactly we share with the people inside our private traders club. Futures trades recommendations. Additionally, we share with our people not only like some courses, because most of people honestly tired of courses. What people really need, it is everyday process. For example, when I start a session, I record to people where I would like to take a trade. After that, I show my trade, and after that we secure profit. That's exactly what you get inside in our club on daily basis. Of course, we have a step-by-step course lessons which we recorded, because some theory you still need, and beauty of recorded course that you can watch it whatever you can, before job, after job, on a free time, watch all lessons in one day. Like, it's really easy to use. And the most important and the most powerful, it is online one-on-one meetings with our mentor. Honestly, I don't know companies where you can take private lesson and trade live with your mentor, where you can ask questions, why you took a trade, why you use this indicator, help me please. Honestly, that stuff help you become really profitable as fast as possible. And additionally, of course, it is a personal coaching support. For each student, we create a private Telegram chat, or it's like the same as a WhatsApp, where we add you, mentor, and our support agent that help you with all questions. Honestly, our people, especially our students, think it is one of the best tools that we do, because most of people honestly tired of courses. I think you bought many courses, you saw some videos on YouTube, but it didn't bring you result. Main reason, because trading is a skill which you need to master on daily basis, and nearly each day you have some question, how to set up some indicator, how to create some template, and you always have people with many years experience who will guide you. Still alone, most traders won't succeed alone, because it's really difficult, because you don't have a clear process, you don't have feedbacks regarding your mistake, you don't have a support when it matters. That's exactly what our system is built to solve. Your next step, stop trading alone, start using a real system. Ready to use ATAS workspace, daily futures trading plans, live trading session, personal feedback and support, and one-on-one meeting with our trader. What you need to do to get inside, below this video, that would be get inside. You can use this Telegram bot. Simply open this Telegram bot and start. After that, my team will send you all details, or if you don't use Telegram, you can use this link and fill the form, and my team will connect with you. Write your name, email, and phone number with international standard. Remember to click on your beautiful country and get VIP access right now. Coming back to cumulative delta, what I also want to show to you that yesterday you can see why once more my advice to you to use delta and use together with other indicators such as the VWAP and all other stuff. Have a look what we had yesterday. As you can see here again, what price did? Price retested overnight VWAP, and you can see here again quite aggressive move up. You can see boom. And here you might think to take long here, but still, that's why location is so important. Or another example for you here, again, price retested VWAP, and what just happened? Beautiful move up, and entire session you have negative delta. You don't have a breakout below VWAP. That's why you do not try to become aggressive against this trend. Price didn't reach any major key zone. There is no major volume. And also, what's major difference here between a breakout environment? Major difference, my friend, let me show to you and let me add to you one more day. When breakout happens, often we face really aggressive volume. If you open a chart and you see that there is no aggressive sellers, for example, like here, real breakout happens when you have something like this, aggressive volume push through and price immediately stay below. For example, few days below, you can see we had quite opposite day when price did significant move, and you can see again price nearly entire session below VWAP. And what's going on? Retest to VWAP. It's exactly a place where you look for some delta absorption. You can see here delta absorption, delta rising, price cannot break through, and especially if there are some significant limit orders, it would be maybe the best place and time to take a trade. Also, one more question that I promised, it is yesterday with our team, with our students, we discussed why I don't like to use a heatmap. Because honestly, main reason why I don't like to use a heatmap, yesterday I showed to our people, because I prefer to analyze clusters, the tape in real time. It is a little bit harder because honestly a book map way easy to analyze, but have a look. Let me show to you here in ATAS. Beauty is that in ATAS, as you can see, you can open a heat map. You can go to NQ. Just an example for you. At this moment, it is pre-market. As you can see, market isn't so active. But still, as you can see exactly the aggressive volume, significant limit orders. Of course, you can set up it as a 3D and analyze it as a walls. And have a look here. Just ask yourself what's better for you. Something like this, where you can see all orders, where you can see delta, because I have two screens. I do not analyze only a heat map. Of course, I analyze limit orders, because I analyze limit orders here. That's my limit orders. Like at this moment, you can see price reached area where nearly the most aggressive sellers step in. And here it was, by the way, during live session, it was exactly a moment where I advise to our people to take a long, because those of you who will watch, pay attention to 27 minutes. It was exactly retest of those sellers. And here we discussed with our people that if some of you plan to take long, it is like best opportunity ever, because price retested those aggressive sellers. And there was maybe one of the most aggressive sell-off. Have a look. At this moment, you will see one of the most aggressive sell-off without a result. Have a look. Aggressive sellers. Aggressive sellers, 50, 50, 50. And what's going on? you can see delta dropped and price does not deliver result. That's exactly how delta absorption looks like inside inner clusters, and that's exactly, have a look, 45, 50. If those sellers really would like to break through, they must deliver result. Price must make lower lows. And even here, if you you have price above VWAP, price retested this key zone. Even if you would be wrong, it's still worth to try, because of course sometimes price will break through, and sometimes price will break through, and that would be okay. But in terms of risk, your risk here 100-150 ticks, potential reward for a range high. And that was exactly my advice to our people, to take long. Of course, I took long, closed part of my position. And after that, you can see from that moment, price did exactly took range high. Once more, my friends, it was one of the most beautiful session. At this moment, what's my advice to you? Go down right now, watch record of that session, because you'll understand how to use order flow correctly. And remember that delta with the tape will show to you best confirmation of a trade. Have a nice day.